Welcome back to Generational Dr. Wealth, a personal finance show for doctors. This podcast is for educational entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult your own professionals. Hello. Welcome back to the Generational Dr. Wealth show. My name is Dr. Ifedi, and this is our Sinking Fund episode. And listen, this episode, believe it or not, is one of the most sneaky, powerful steps that's on the financial blueprint. As a quick reminder, we've done step number 1 through 5 at this point, and now we are at step 6 of the blueprint. Step 1, meaning making sure you have invested in getting the proper insurance for your life. That's life insurance, that's malpractice insurance, that's income protection insurance. Very, very key. Step number 2, make sure you have created your freedom fund. This is 1 month's worth of income saved up. Now, then that moves us to step number 3. Step number 3 being cut the wealth killers, making sure you cut anything out of your life that is above 8%. That leads us to step number 4. Now it's time to grow that freedom fund. We want to get it to 3 to 6 months worth of income saved up. That led us to the last few episodes we had on step number 5, invest. This is the wealth builder right there. That's how you actually take the income that you're earning, the income that you saved up, and put it into a fast vehicle to be able to build wealth quickly. But remember, we don't do step number 5 unless we have the first 4 steps set aside. And once you have successfully maxed out your HSA, if you qualify, you've maxed out your Roth IRA, you've maxed out your 401k. Once all those have been maxed out and you're now thinking about where should I put my next dollars? If you've already maxed out all of your 401k accounts, you maxed out all your HSA account, your Roth accounts, and now you're left with future paychecks for the remainder of the year, you need to think to yourself, what am I going to do with these future funds? Obviously, putting funds into your tax-free brokerage account in the investing stage is good, but now you have the ability to start thinking about what's next. What do we want in the future? What are future goals and plans that you do have? See, step number 6, create your sinking funds, is not about building wealth. See, step number 5 is about building wealth. Step number 6 is about structuring your future wealth. This is creating the accounts that you're going to need in the future today. Putting funds aside now for expenses that you know coming in the future. See, the unfortunate truth is most of us have emergencies in our lives, not because life has taken us off guard, but due to a lack of financial preparedness. See, this MacBook I have in front of me right now, I've been using my same laptop since when I went to dental school back in 2017. So I've been using my old laptop for almost 9 years. And for some reason, it stopped working as well. The battery stopped working as functional. The screen stopped working as functional. So I said, you know what? It's time to get another computer. I've been saving in our sinking fund for that computer for 5 years, and I stopped contributing into that fund 4 years ago. But when it was time to make the purchase, it was easy. Go ahead and get the computer. Don't think too much about it. Now, if I didn't have a sinking fund, this $2,000 computer would have been, oh my goodness, this is an expense I'm not prepared for. And like I said, things will happen in your life. Are they really emergencies, or are we just not prepared for them? If you own a home, eventually something's going to happen to your roof if you own it for the full lifetime of those 30 years. If you have a car, eventually you're going to have to get the tires replaced. Eventually you're going to get oil changed. See, these are predictable things that will occur. And the question is, are you prepared for them? You know Christmas is coming back around. You know you're going to have to get somebody a birthday gift. You know things will come up, but the question is, are your funds strategically prepared for those events? Now, let's define what a sinking fund is. A sinking fund is an account that you put away funds periodically for a future expense. This could be done on a weekly basis. This can be done on a monthly basis. It can be done whenever you have the funds necessary. But the goal is for you to plan for future expenses today. If you know you want to buy a new car in the future, then this is the time to go and start putting funds away. See, I created our new car sinking fund back when I purchased our last car. So instead of having to take out car notes for the cars, I just treat the sinking fund like the actual car note. So I'll put in the 400, 600, 800, whatever your car note is, putting that into your sinking fund on a monthly basis gets you prepared for the next 3 to 5 years when you're ready for your next car. So if you kind of think about it, if you're always one car ahead financially, you'll never even need a car note. So let's drill down on that a little bit more. So for instance, if you knew eventually in the future, I want to buy a car, but the car I have right now is serviceable and I have no car payment on it because it's just an old beat up car, but I love it and it's treated me so well over the years, then set a timetable for yourself. In 2 to 4 years, I want to buy a new car. The car I currently have, I have no car note on. I just need to pay for gas, maintenance, and insurances. So you take the difference, which might be anywhere between $500 to $1,000 a month, and you start putting that into your future car fund. Now, if you have 2 years to be able to put funds aside and you're putting away $500 a month, that gives you the opportunity to save $12,000. That's $500 times 24 months. That gives you $12,000. Now, guess what? If you have 4 years to put those funds aside, now you have $24,000, which is $500 times 48 months. Now, that's a very nice car fund for you to be able to buy a future car of your dreams. And don't forget, you also have the car to the side that you are currently driving that you may be able to trade in for an extra $4,000 to $5,000. And that's how you want to kind of think about your sinking fund. Your sinking fund isn't here to pay for every life expense you have, but it is here to take care of the future large expenses that you know you will incur. And by preparing for them today, you're avoiding future debt when that expense comes. So what happens is a lot of us know that we have large expenses in the future, but instead we like to just say, you know what, I'll deal with it when I get there. Those are some of the most dangerous words when it comes to building wealth. Instead of waiting to deal with it when it comes, deal with it today. And one of the most powerful things you have going your way is when you create these sinking funds, especially if you have a time horizon that's 2 years plus, you have an opportunity to now possibly put them into a high yield savings account if you know you're going to need it more soon, or if you know they're going to be far out in the future. Let's say if you're saving for a down payment for a home, you don't need it for 4 to 5 years out in the future. You can put that into an investment account that'll grow even faster than the money that you're putting aside. So just like the car payment, let's say you put away that $24,000 and you waited to buy that car. If you put that into the stock market, let's say just last year, the stock market went up approximately 20% last year in 2025. So that $24,000 that you put aside would have grown almost $5,000 in that 1 year. Think about that. That's the power of saving for your future expenses in your sinking fund. You, number one, have eliminated a future debt or credit that you would have had to take out on your future self. But also, number two, you've given yourself the leverage of time. By having time on your side, you now can put these funds aside and let them grow for you to be able to contribute to your future expenses.
If you've been listening to the show, you probably heard us talk about the Doctor's Blueprint, the 9-step framework that helps doctors go from 6-figure debt to financial freedom. But a lot of listeners have asked the same question. How do I apply this to my own situation? That's exactly why we created the Dr. Wealth Blueprint Plan. It's a personalized financial roadmap designed specifically for doctors. We walk through your entire financial picture, your debt, insurance coverage, saving strategies, investment plan, and long-term goals, and then turn it into a clear step-by-step plan based on the Doctor's Blueprint. If you're interested, just text the word blueprint to 704-336-9313, and we'll send you the details and application. Again, that's blueprint to 704-336-9313 to learn more about the Dr. Wealth Blueprint Plan.
See, now you can see how creating a sinking fund early in the future can now create and build wealth. As you can see, there's a reason why create your sinking funds comes right after invest, because when you have a long time horizon in your future, they actually work hand in hand to not only take care of that future expense, but also be able to structure your wealth in a replicatable way to make sure things do not take you off guard. So let me tell you a secret. For a lot of the doctors that I work with, they usually fall into one of two camps when it comes to their sinking funds. In one hand, it's, do we really need sinking funds, or putting in the bare minimum just to say they have a sinking fund? And then on the other hand, there are those who truly build and grow wealth. See, these are the individuals that treat their sinking funds as future investment accounts. These are the ones who put the funds into a responsible way on a periodic basis to make sure things do not come back to bite them. And one thing I've noticed about the two is, on the one hand, those who put funds away because they feel like they have to, they tend to put funds away, I would say, on an inconsistent schedule. It might happen on a monthly basis some months. It might happen on a quarterly basis some months, whenever they have the excess funds to do it. Now, on the other hand, the ones who truly build wealth and protect themselves with these sinking funds, they do it periodically and often. If they say they're going to do it every 2 weeks, they do it every 2 weeks. If they say they're going to do it monthly, they do it monthly. But honestly, the super high achievers, I see them doing it on an annual basis, meaning they plan for things 12 months out at least. Meaning if they know, we're going to possibly have a future expense on the roof, they've already started planning for it 12 months in advance at least. They know, okay, once we have this excess funds, we can't spend it because we know we're going to have a larger expense coming in the future. And that's why if you've ever owned a home, you pay something called escrow. It's a way for you to be able to prepare to pay your property tax and your insurance and hazard and casualty insurance for your home ahead of time. For most people, if you told them that their property taxes or their property insurance are due on a random month, it would throw their entire budget into chaos. But escrow and mortgage companies know that if you just put a little bit away a month, you won't even feel it. It'll feel normal. And that's how you have to treat your personal finances. How do you create an escrow account for your life? How do you create sinking funds and put a little bit away when it doesn't really hurt too much? So when that big occurrence does come that causes a lot of your cash to come out of your account, it doesn't hurt you too much either. So now that we've touched on it a little bit, we're going to introduce a few principles to help you create your sinking funds. See, me in my personal life, I have 3 sinking funds. One for personal life, one for business life, and one for future investments. See, now, one thing you'll notice is that either individuals have too many sinking funds, meaning they have a sinking fund for the property taxes on their vehicle. That might be $300. You don't need to be saving incrementally for something that's going to cost $300. And then I see individuals who have too few sinking accounts, like they have one big sinking account that all their funds go into. If you're a business owner or you own property, then you need to separate those 2 pots of money because you don't want to have a false sense of security thinking to yourself that you have the proper funds set aside in the account.
Hello, I'm Jonathan with Team Financials, and here at Team Financials, we make filing simple, accurate, and stress-free. Tax season does not have to be stressful, and we are here to make it as simple and stress-free as possible for you. Whether you need help with your personal tax return or your business owner looking for expert tax preparation, our experienced team is here to guide you every step of the way. We don't just file your taxes. Our slogan here at Team Financials is we educate so you can elevate, because when you understand your finances, you make stronger, smarter moves for your future. If you mention Dr. Wealth when filing with us, you will receive $75 off your personal and business tax preparations. Ready to get started? Please reach out to us at 704-412-4242 or book directly on our website at teamfinancials.com. Take care. Have a good rest of the day. Bye.
Now back to our 3 sinking funds. We have our personal sinking fund, our business sinking fund, and our investment sinking fund, just to quickly recap. Now, on the personal sinking fund side of things, we like to think about things that occur in our personal life that's going to occur in about 2 years or less. So that's where we put the deductibles for the health insurance, for the cars, the houses, things like that is a safe place to put into your personal sinking fund. Now, when it comes to your business sinking fund, if you are a business owner, that's where you can put the casualty deductible into that pot. If you're thinking about a renovation and then within the next 2 years, the property taxes on your business, anything like that that's less than 2 years, it's a safe place to go ahead and put into your business sinking fund. Now, for things that are 2 years in advance and farther out into the future, you can put those into your investment funds. For instance, for our son, we have a 529 set aside. That is one of our sinking funds that we contribute to on a periodic basis, but we know it's not coming up anytime soon. When it comes to our car fund, again, you're doing that 4 years in advance. You can always put those funds into your investment sinking funds. So whenever that time comes, you can start keeping in mind if it's less than 2 years, I need to move it from my investment sinking fund, and I might take it out of the market, because if you have it invested in stocks and you need it in less than 2 years, you need to get it into a safer environment. So when you need it in your personal sinking fund, you can divest out of the stock market and now move into something a little bit safer, like a money market account or a high yield savings account. So when you need it in those less than 2 years, you have it available to you. See, all three funds work together, but it's more about your time horizon and what are you trying to cover. Your personal sinking fund is going to cover more of your personal expenses. Your business sinking fund is going to cover more of your businesses. And then your investment sinking fund is like a rollover account for anything that's above 2 years and has the opportunity to grow with time. That is a safe place for you to go ahead and put it. Now, the difference is if you need it in 2 years versus our son going to college in 17 years. For things that are 17 years out, we can be a lot more aggressive. For things that we might need in 3 years, we might go ahead and start curtailing our risk a little bit as we get closer and closer to that 2-year deadline. And that's a nice way to think about it. Ideally, every dollar in your life should have a job. It should have a place. Dollars shouldn't just be flowing into your account and you just letting it sit up and pile. You need to get it into the right place so it can do the proper job. So again, the example of those who have one big sinking fund. Honestly, one big sinking fund is better than no sinking fund at all, but it's lacking the strategic differentiation necessary for the growing complexity of a financially sound doctor. See, the thing about the Doctor Wealth Group is we understand that doctors have a different level of financial risk when it comes to our overall lives. See, doctors, we are professionals when it comes to planning out our future career, planning out how we're going to help our patients, looking at our schedule in advance.
This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not intended to be financial, legal, or medical advice. We are not acting as your personal financial advisors. The strategies discussed are general in nature and may not be appropriate for your individual situations. You should always consult your own qualified financial, tax, and legal professionals before making decisions about your money. The host and guests are not responsible for any actions you take based on the information shared on this show.